Hi guys, Strange Developer here. If you are a developer or inspiring developer, you must hear this. So in a previous video, I spoke about the current state of the employment market, especially for software engineers, and it doesn't matter if you are a backend developer, front-end developer, or full stack, and even database administrator. There have been like huge changes which I have basically underestimated in my previous video, and I'm going to explain to you and cover it really quick. So if you are a developer, you should be really concerned right now, because being a developer now is really problematic from a certain point of view, especially when it comes to the job market at the moment. And I'll explain to you why. So a couple years ago, we were promised that it was not a promise on paper, but rather an implicit promise made by the media and all the influencers and so on and so forth, that AI is not going to replace developers, but it's going to help developers. Unfortunately, this is not how things ended up. And basically, the speculation that I had was, when you have increased efficiency, you are going to upscale to produce more. But apparently, between the marketing, investors, and the pitch, something got lost in between. The translation is, let's be more efficient and reduce the number of developers, especially those who are doing repetitive tasks, especially coders in particular. So what does this mean? You'll be noticing that, or it have already happened, that there is a huge mass layoffs happening, especially in the tech industry. And it's only going to get worse, because a lot of people are going to graduate very soon, and they're still looking at what the market used to be versus what the market is right now. So you will find that there is a huge, massive, brutal competition for a simple position like what used to be a backend developer, a regular backend developer in the past, will now become something like very rare, and you are somehow like an incredibly smart and genius developer if you landed that position, even in companies that may not necessarily require such a huge level of, let's say, skills or high level of system design understanding, experience. So what you're going to notice is that there will be a systematic layoff of middle level developers, junior developers. The only people who are going to stay are going to be just like the senior managerial kind of like architects, and basically their job is going to be transformed into basically just monitoring and overlooking what the AI and Copilot is going to output. So the assumption was that we thought that we had the assumption before that we were going to see more projects being produced with the efficiency that AI has brought to us, but instead we are seeing the cutoff and layoffs. This is why you should be actually kind of concerned. But before I tell you what the solution is or what you should do if you're a developer, by the way, this message is whether you are new to my channel, or a developer new to my channel, or you are one of the people who took some of my courses, or maybe you're just a subscriber who's interested in tech. This is something that can be useful to you to know, and basically even my own shift or in my understanding of how the tech industry now is evolving. Anyway, to get back to the topic, so algorithms, binary trees, coding, understanding all of those things, they are still important, but unfortunately they no longer have any value, because now you can bring somebody who may have little to no understanding of how to navigate a binary tree, give them AI or ChatGPT or whatever DeepSeek, and they will get the full solution, fully working solution, maybe with some tweaks, and they are fine. They don't really even need to have deep understanding of how things work anymore. Now, I'm saying this, I'm being a bit sarcastic because you still need to understand how to navigate a binary tree, but in essence, the situation has changed. And we have to be very objective and recognize what is happening. Now, a lot of people may have the tendency to say we need to fight AI. AI is not so good. And I'm saying no. Don't be a hater. Don't hate on the AI. Don't blame the AI. And maybe you can instead, let's look at things from a very objective point of view, and we're coming eventually to the solution. So AI, with the current state we have right now, yes, it increased efficiency, which is true. But what is the direction this is going to happen is that what we currently have is not true AI. Because according to McCarthy and the Dartmouth proposal on AI autonomy, a research that was made a few decades ago, and I'm talking now from scientific point of view, explain to you why what we have today is not true AI. Okay, so number one, according to McCarthy and Dartmouth proposal, goal of AI, the proposal aimed to study how to build machines that simulate human intelligence, including learning, reasoning, and problem solving, autonomy and generality, minimizing human intervention, self-improvement, and long-term vision. None of those currently exist in what we currently have is called AI. And it raises a question. You see the explosion in AI developer job, research data scientist jobs, and so on and so forth. Raises a question, if you need this many people to make ChatGPT work or to make DeepSeek work or whatever AI solution you're using, is this truly really a true AI? Very suspicious. Now, I'm not claiming that I'm an AI expert. I'm just simply reading the exact scientific definition of what true AI is. So what we currently have is not true AI. Okay? It is to be objective. So what is going to happen is that let's take it for real and say, okay, this is the direction that companies are taking, and I'll be personally happy if we have those amazing AI tools. But hear me out. In a couple of decades, if AI continues the way it is right now, is going to become, and I'm sorry to use this word, it's going to become total garbage. And the reason why it's going to be like that is currently it doesn't have any form of autonomy, cannot self-improve. It doesn't have that. We haven't yet reached that scientific breakthrough to make it like a sentient being. So it's not going to self-improve. That's not total nonsense. Okay, let's be clear on this. Now, now we see what AI currently is. It's an overhype from scientific point of view. This is what it looks like. Maybe it could improve. Maybe it's gonna change. Maybe there will be a breakthrough. I'm not discounting that. Yeah, maybe. But we need to realize that like CRUD or create, read, update, delete, developers are no longer needed. We are obsolete in this sense. Now, the solution. I don't want you to follow the trends of, okay, I'm gonna study AI, oh, I'm gonna do math, or I'm gonna do whatever, cybersecurity. You need to look at things from a scientific perspective to recognize what AI cannot achieve, and from there you can basically decide what you're going to do. In a simple sentence, AI only excels at things that have clear patterns. Things that do not have a pattern, or is like constantly evolving and shifting and changing. AI cannot do it. So what I would recommend you, if you wanted to be a developer and your goal is not really about being, let's say, writing code, and even if you do write code, I truly recommend take it as a hobby. Don't take it like as a full-time job anymore, because we are obsolete in this sense. Instead, focus on the things that you like, but AI is not gonna be able to do. And this is what my recommendation is for you. So, because in the past I used to say that developers are needed, and it is to a certain extent, yes, but we have to recognize the situation today. Anyway, I hope that you found this useful, and please subscribe, like, and yeah, stay tuned for more.